July 31st, 2017. My name is Bob Wright. Welcome, everyone. It is more than a historic time that we're all gathered together here right now. The room's almost full. There's only room for 100, but hopefully we'll have this recorded and reposted. Everyone will be able to get a chance to take a listen. Just by way of announcements, I'm still getting a lot of emails asking to be put on the email list again. There is no email list, so if you're looking for when the next broadcast is, just watch the Facebook page, and it'll get reposted everywhere. And I will post the link 15 minutes before broadcast. Also, although I appreciate the enthusiasm, it's almost getting ridiculous. People who feel that they know me well enough to call me at 2 o'clock in the morning asking questions about their foreclosure, that's not going to happen anymore. Please, I'm not going to help you with your foreclosure. I am not going to, I'm not going to do anything that you can't do for yourself. This is all about self-responsibility. So please take some time, and honestly, it may seem that you feel that you're in a desperate situation and I need to get this. Take a step back. It will do yourself a favor. Take the time and relax. Do the research necessary that you need to, and everything will be just fine. Now, for those of you who are new, this is your first call. If you're new to Zoom, I'll just go through a couple things before we get into what we want to get into today. On the bottom of your screen, you can notice that once you move your mouse down there, there'll be a control bar where you can mute your mic, and you can click on participants, which will open up a sidebar and will allow you to raise your hand if you have a question. Also, you can take a look at the chat. There's people in there who have no microphones, or people who are on their phones who may chat their questions in the chat room. Okay. For those of you who haven't heard, yes, it is true that Heather did get arrested in Washington, D.C. Late last week, I think last Wednesday. And for a lot of people who are new to this, or who don't understand who Heather is one of the leading investigators in the investigation into what happened in 2008 crash. She was one of the UCC lawyers that was working in the Secret Service in the Financial Crimes Division. And she was one of the main trustees who filed the paperwork for the One People's Public Trust. I want to spend a little time talking about what those filings are and what it means and how we all get to this point right now. Because right now, we've never been in a better position. Everything is being completely exposed. Although they would want this hearing to be a quiet thing, it has become extremely public. And this is one of the things that is necessary for all to see, because it is completely transparent now. There is no hiding. There are no more secrets. And this new world, when there are no more secrets, everyone has to change and adjust to the new paradigm. And granted, there's going to be some people who are going to have a hard time adjusting, but I guarantee that adjustment is going to be made. It is being made. All of these middle management who are listening to this call, and I know who you are, all of us are aware We understand what is going on. It has become painfully obvious to us who holds the cards in this deal. It is us. You're watching the Ants movie all over again, because here we are, and we're not going away, and you can't arrest all of us. One of the things I would like for all of you to know, Heather knew this was going to end up in court. She told us beforehand that although she didn't like the courtroom, she knew that she was going to be there. There's nothing that is going on that is out of place. I know a lot of people were shocked, right? But think about it from this perspective. What else could they do? All of the things that you've been doing so far in accessing your account, proving to yourselves what people have been saying for over 20 years now. Max Jordan has been, I don't even know for how long, telling you about these birth certificate accounts and how all of us have been being traded. And now all of a sudden you have proof. You can see it. You can touch it. You can use it. And all of those theories now suddenly become facts. For a lot of people, it was an eye-opener. People who were never exposed to any of this, suddenly they started to realize people were planning on quitting their jobs. What could you do? Imagine what a world would look like if everyone had access to their accounts, unfettered access, because that is the world we're adjusting to. And some of us are having, and I use the word us, some of us are having a hard time making that adjustment. But I assure you, 100%, because we have people inside of every agency. We have learned from our former controllers how to infiltrate, and we do it quite well. There are insiders that are working right now to make sure that each and every one of you will have limited access. But as it is right now, we are in the process of revealing everything. There is a lot of things going on behind the scenes that is triggering people in various different ways. And when people become triggered, they make mistakes. And this is part and parcel of the reason why this game is now over. You're seeing the final stages of a long played game. And I use the word game, in order to lighten a little bit of what actually really happened on this planet. And there's a lot of information. If you think the TDA accounts is the big revelation that's going to happen in these next 2 years, that's just the tip of the iceberg. Trust me, when you find out what has actually been kept from you, it is there. The emotion is going to be across the entire spectrum, I assure you. But no one, I don't believe anyone, is really, really going to be prepared for what is about to be revealed. There's a lot of information that is available for those who choose to look. None of it is really kept secret, but when you understand what has actually played out here and what is playing out here, it is quite amazing to be alive at this time. Now, as far as Heather's condition, Heather has mentioned before that she has abilities that she has not before revealed. I am first witness to some of those abilities. I have been in telepathic contact with her since 2012. We never needed to call each other. We've never needed to do anything to coordinate with each other, and that is still true. And I'm going to give you a message from her, and she's saying, "Look, guys, I appreciate everything that all of you do, and all of you are doing, whether consciously aware or not, the final plan. And this is all part of it. There is nothing that is not perfectly done. Every base has been covered, and now is the time for the great shift. This is the event you've been waiting for. Do not see it any other way, because it can't happen any other way. It requires all of us to work in coordination. And this is what this has been. It has been a coordinated effort by all beings. There is none that are not working ultimately towards the original plan. Even those who think that they are trying to maintain control are actually working for the ultimate plan, because it's a benefit for everyone. And the whole idea for you is to see your true value. That nothing happens on this planet without you. You are the workforce. You are the Imagineers. You are the engineers. You are the inventors. You are the value. All value that comes and exists on this planet, all power that exists on this planet comes from you. And it's time for each and every one of you to realize that, embody that, and be that. All things are perfectly done. I love you all, and thank you. That's her message. And I can tell you that when I connect with her, there is no doubt, there is no trepidation. She is extremely sure is doing, and I think a lot of people might have felt bad for her. From my perspective, I kind of felt bad for the court, because I know this woman. I've lived and worked with this woman, and there is no other being I can picture being in the place, because this case is for all of us to prove our ownership for all of us. There's no other being I would trust in the courtroom than her. So she's exactly where she needs to be. And I hope everybody understands that. As far as what do we do right now with the TDA accounts? Well, I am not going to limit anyone from their doing. A lot of people are waiting to see what happens with this hearing, and that's fine. But what I would say is important is to still share the information. Whether you choose to engage, Harvey, I love Harvey, and there's certain people that I wouldn't be able to stop if I tried to, because honestly, just like I believe it was Roger put out a video, we're at a point where we are realizing that there is no authority outside of ourselves. And that's true. Whether, all the perceived authority, government agencies, alphabet, they only get their power and authority from you. And once you withdraw that in vast numbers like you have been, you change the formula for everyone. Every single one of you are changing the formula in such a beautiful way. And I'm not going to tell you stop using your accounts, or I'm not going to tell you go ahead and use your accounts. I want you to be aware that they're there. I want you to understand what they represent. I want you to see the true value, who really holds the cards. And we have the ability right now to make a difference for the entire planet. So my admonishment for everyone is to share information. The more people that become aware, and if they want to play around with their TDA accounts and pay something, I would say pay something small, but just understand that it's real. There's no denying it anymore. Even the bank story has changed, because it went from these accounts don't exist to now these accounts can't be used in this manner. They're not even denying now that the accounts exist. They're denying who owns these accounts. And that's an argument that is completely on our side. That's an argument that is being tried in court right now. That's the argument that unlocks, and the more people that become aware, because I tell you, all of these agencies, they're monitoring all of the things that we're doing in each of the rooms, on all the Facebook groups. So if you have a message to them, you can pass it on right directly to them, because they're watching, even here on this call. So I would say if any of you have a message for them that you would like to convey, please do so now.
I'd be happy to say something. Wow. What a wonderful opportunity. That was a surprise. So what I'd like to say is, hi. I know who you are. And I am so excited to be on the other side of this, as we are all completely celebrated, loved, appreciated, all for doing our jobs, all for doing our roles, playing the game, making it crazy and wild and fun, because we're master creators. Why would we do anything less than like taking it to the hilt, right? Great job. Wow, what a job. And here we are at this place where we let it all go, and we just get right to the ground part of who we really are, the love that holds us all as one together. And that's where the fun starts, really starts. So thank you for doing your job, and we love you. I know I love you. No, we love you. I am you. You are me. We are one, and we are free. Blessings. And that's it.
Thank you, Judy. Susan.
Robert, all I gotta say is the jig is up. It's our turn to fly. Aho.
Appreciate it. Susu?
Yes, sir. I would like to say thank you, thank you, thank you. And there will be no retribution, nothing but forgiveness from the camp of Susan Denham. Forgiveness and love and gratitude and graciousness. Thank you for the role so beautifully and eloquently played. And now it's time to retire that role and join the Freedom Wagon and be all original, just like all the rest of us. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? What I envision happening more than likely, and I keep seeing this, I believe this case will probably get dismissed at some point, because like Floyd said, the cat's out of the bag. There's too many of us that know. at this point right now, it's just a matter of exercising that awareness. And nobody really everybody, I believe that everybody really, really just wants to be done with this, to end the game. You know, like you get to a point in playing a game that it's no longer fun and it's time to play a new game. You know, none of us are having fun anymore. You know, you're not even getting your control that you wanted, and we're not getting the freedom that we wanted. And there's a solution. Let's just play a different game. If you want to play the control game, you can do it someplace else. That's fine. There's no judgment. But here, we want to play a different game. We've imagined a different game. And it is a brilliant, beautiful game that we invite you to come play with us. But again, this whole other control over other game, we're done with that. It's over. Bobby Peck, you have a comment?
Oh yeah, thanks, Bob. Yeah, we offer to the people who are working on the other side of this to we'll help you repurpose your life, and you'll also be invited to the after party. Oh.
Oh, yes, you were invited to the after party. Amen.
Amen.
Yes, that was beautiful.
Oh.
Now, I want each and every one of you to, what are you going to do? Once unfettered, and it's inevitable, you will have unfettered access to these accounts. What are you going to do? You know, each and every one of us, you know, sometimes you don't, we spend so much time trying to make ends meet. We don't allow ourselves to think in such a way. But what are you going to do? All the different projects that you've always had ideas for are suddenly available to you. What are you going to do?
Can I go first?
Please. I don't know who that is.
That's me, Susu. I'm so excited about this because I want to expand the food pantries and make them available to people who don't have access to food in my town, Tallahassee, and any other place that I can, and also have homes for people who are coming out of sexual slavery. Like some of the girls who work in strip joints are not there of their own volition. And so I want to have homes and like a parenting type, like a grandmother type program for those girls. And that just excites me to no end.
That's beautiful.
Awesome. Who else do we have? Bobby?
I'm here. Robert, what we want to do is we want to basically set up a model system for natural healing, and making it an adventure where you not only heal the body, but you heal the mind and you heal the soul, to be able to be a part of this new paradigm and understand that it's all very easy. All we have to do is love. Aho.
Awesome. Judy?
I kept just turning it off and on. Thank you. I've been thinking about this for quite a while, because my life seems to have taken me along this slipstream of what ifs. Here's more ideas. What ifs? This isn't a potential, so what if? And so my what if so far, if things continue in a way that seems anything familiar to what I'm used to, what I would love to do is buy some properties on the East Coast, where I'm being drawn right now, and start two different things, actually. One would be kind of a new community with permaculture and teaching people to build small houses and build tree houses and do the permaculture, everybody kind of getting together as almost a transient place, well, although some I would imagine would stay all the time, but it's a teaching community where all things art are brought forward. And I see it done in a really organic way, like very little management, in that's not how this next phase is going to go, it feels to me. So it just feels like really organic and how it comes available, the people that come to it. And then another part of that too is the priestesshood. So I see myself kind of as a center for priestesses, people who are the divine feminine here as an emissary of the divine feminine right now, to really lift the frequency up and be that nurturer and go in, and it kind of takes over a part of maybe what some religions were before. And this, it wouldn't be a religion, it would be the town or the village nurturer and priestess and healer, and making sure that you have what you need and making sure everybody is feeling loved and cared for and that kind of thing. And I would be a place where they would come together and teach each other what they know, share with each other what they know, share energies so that they could take that back to their communities and their villages, and then continue that flow, just kind of be a network for that to continue to grow and expand, and pure joy, absolutely pure joy. Lots of music and dancing and delicious foods and swimming and co-creating and riding horses and, you know, a lot of nature. So I've really fleshed it out quite a bit and I'm really excited about doing it. So I can't wait. Thanks for letting me share.
Could I go, Bob?
Go ahead, Bobby.
Oh, great.
And then
yeah,
Mark.
Well, yeah, I look forward to actually just continuing on the dream of working with the team, yourself, the Pennsylvania crew, Floyd down in New Mexico. We're going to do all kinds of fun things in Taos County, and we're going to, similar to Judy, purchase land and create farms and healing centers. And I remember years ago, I thought of a actual blueprint for, didn't think of it, I had to download, of healing centers that I'd still like to see spread all over the country and the world, focusing on every type of modality there is, and for healing and communion and community, and plus having just all kinds of fun. I'm going to get a really nice Indian motorcycle, by the way. But yeah, yes, it's going to be fantastic. Thanks. I won't go on.
Thanks for sharing. Mark?
For us, it's always been about trying to help other people. Not having to worry about dollars means not having to worry about how you're going to take care of food, how you're going to take care of housing, all that fun stuff. We'd be freed up to travel and do exactly that, help people, period. Not sure if there will be a limitation on what that is. Probably not. As needed. What's the situation? What can we do to help? Not do everything for the people, but help them to learn how to do it for themselves.
Perfect. Smarty?
I'm looking forward to canceling out radiation, harmful chemicals, clean up the planet where it need be so we can grow foods, build the newest and hottest technology out there, build replicators, everything that you guys are already talking about. I have pretty much taken care of a lot of it, so I'm looking forward to do more. And yes, I'm also a Pennsylvanian. So definitely looking forward to all this.
There's a reason why I asked you to express yourselves this way. Because I understand a lot of the former controllers are quite frightened of you. They're frightened of you because they're afraid that you might want to have retribution against them. And as I listen to each of you express yourselves, I see completely the opposite. So my message to them is join in the party. It's not too late for you. It's not too late for any of you. All we want to do is heal. And more than ever, that healing is offered to you. Because each and every one of you, for you to play that part, to play the role that you played, it was not easy, and we understand. So from our perspective, you two are original, each and every one of you. And your healing is important to us, as is all healing. Because when you heal, the whole is healed. And it's time for us to heal. My ambition is along with everyone else's, to help heal this planet. I want to open a galactic center, exchange center, where we can openly exchange our value with all of our brothers. This is, and it's all been about the exchange that we have with each other, the synchronistic exchanges that we have in our relationships. That is what gives us the experience that we so crave. It is what gives us the drive to live and to expand ourselves. It's the exchange that we have with each other. And that exchange should not be limited. Unlimited access, unlimited capabilities to expand our imagination, to expand our life, not just for ourselves, but for the whole, which all of existence is part of. This is the change that we offer. This is the change. This is the new world. Source is calling for an energetic response. You have 2 weeks. Make a choice. You have 2 weeks.
Oh, do tell.
Make a choice. I have said everything that I needed to say. And if anyone has any questions or comments, I'll entertain them. But this isn't going to be a very long meeting. I just want everyone to understand that everything is completely as it should be. Now, Smarty, I see your hand up. I don't know if that's from before, or do you have another question?
Oh no, I'm pretty much good. I mean, you're absolutely right. We're not looking forward to hurting anyone. I mean, I'm pretty sure they want clean grass, clean air, clean water for their children also. So, like you said, they have 2 weeks.
Bobby, is that your hand raised from before, or?
Yeah, Bob, that's it. Thank you.
Okay. Susu?
Actually, it's Sandra. Just go ahead and talk. Just talk.
I'm excited because now we will be able to have the money, and with all of the natural resources for healing, we will be able to see things like my granddaughter, who was born 7 weeks ago, who was born minus 1 chromosome, can be healed and live a normal, wonderful life. And we will have the money to assist her mother and them and help them to get through to been able to take. We will see so much healing and so many things taking place for children and people that are disabled. And I that makes me so happy and so excited for my grandchildren and my great-grandchildren. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Kristen?
Thank you, Bobby. Can you do me a favor, and if you have the information, can you update us on the hearing that went on today, the extension or the doing Friday's hearing, what happened with Heather, as well as all I'd like to do is anybody who's on the on-network Skype room, if not, we can put it in the other rooms, just sending Randy and Heather postcards and cards that are infused with love and thoughts. And we do have the addresses, and if you're not in the Skype room, I'm sure that we can get them on the other websites. But if you can update us on what's going on with the hearing extension to Friday.
Basically, she has asked to represent herself with the public defender as second chair, which is, I'm sure, will probably be granted, but that won't happen until Friday. There was a continuance. It was not closed hearing, and if you're looking for the update, I believe there was a live stream that was done, which was posted. I think it's posted in one of the Facebook rooms. But yeah, it has all been pushed back until Friday. And Heather seemed, she was, as they saw her, she was in good spirits. She looked healthy. She didn't seem disturbed at all. So Friday will be her identity hearing continuance. Does that answer your question?
That answers my question, and there's some questions on the chat room of for you to expand on what's happening in 2 weeks.
Well, 2 weeks is plenty of enough time for all of you to have unfettered access. I know what's involved in doing that, and it can be done in moments. They need to make a choice. Otherwise, they will be excluded from participating. And it's as simple as that. We are entering into this new era. It has already been decided upon. And I want them to understand where we, as the people, and you've all spoken and expressed yourselves. I didn't prompt any of you in any of your expressions of how we will treat them. We've given them plenty of opportunity. Now it's up to them, because either they will participate or they will not. Chad, you have your hand raised?
Hi, Robert. Can you hear me?
I can.
Okay. I'm taking part from Victoria, BC, Canada, and I'm just amazed that, like, I'm new to this. Like, I'm 2 or 3 weeks into this, and the research that I've been doing at IUV and Googling and DuckDuckGo, and I'm just amazed that plausible deniability is now gone. And the whole thing, that the accounts exist and that some people are getting, the transactions go through, some are reversed. I'm just amazed that it's real. Like, it just blows my mind. I just want to send courage and strength to Heather, and peace, and thank you. Thanks.
Thank you. I don't want anyone to think that this 2 weeks is a 2 weeks or else. It's not like that. They have 2 weeks to put everything that they need in order so that each and every one of you have unfettered access. Otherwise, you'll still have unfettered access, but certain entities may be locked out from participating. That is just the way it's going to be, because there is in place right now the ability to do exactly just that. But we want to give everyone equal opportunity, because as I said, we are all originals. I don't want to see anyone get locked out from exchange. I don't want to see, Source does not want to see any quote unquote perceived wicked be locked out from participating in this next phase. All beings are invited to participate, but there must be a healing. And this is very, very important as far as Source is concerned. It is the number one priority for all of us to take the time to heal. Mark, you have your hand raised?
Yes, and I'm going to ask this because I know there are people out there that are like me. I straddle a wide bridge between 3D and 5D. I see that there is truth to the process that's happening, and that choices do indeed need to be made. But for some, there comes a confusion because of the indoctrination over so many years, of whether or not they need a process in order to make that move forward so they don't get locked out, or is it simply a matter of I am and therefore?
It's a matter of each and every one of us having the ability to be and do without limitation. And that ability is inherent in all beings. The whole game that we've played here, the game of separation, where we pretended to not be all that is over. It's just that simple. That game is over. And that's what those filings were all about. So they've had plenty of time. In fact, it's overdue. Well overdue. So now we are going to take control. And I don't want to even use that word, but we are the value. We are the power. And we will use it as we see fit. There is no other way. Now that you know, I couldn't convince you to accept anything less. Honestly, I could not convince you to accept anything less.
Yeah, no, well, you and I have talked, so you already know that answer. But my concern, as you also already know, is always for the other, and making sure as few as possible are left behind.
No one needs to be left behind. This offer is made to all beings, seen and unseen. It is freely made. It comes directly from Source. Anyone who wishes can participate in the next phase. Anyone who doesn't want to participate, that is also their prerogative. But a choice must be made.
All right, free will.
Okay. I appreciate everybody's doing and being. And again, everyone that's listening and everyone that will listen, you are all a part of this grand finale that we've all been waiting for, to usher in this new era. And there's going to be some more challenges, I can assure you, and there's going to be more surprises, and there's going to be wonderful celebration, because each and every one of you have made it to this point. You're watching the change of guard in real time. So be grateful for being alive, to be able to see and experience and participate in this, because each and every one of you are powerful beings. You've got the only credit that exists on this planet is you. And now we can coordinate how we're going to spend that energy. Any other? Floyd, is your hand raised from before, or is that a new question?
New question, Bob. Thanks. Okay, does everybody understand that they have to file their UCC1 form?
No, you do not.
Oh, you don't?
Again, all of those things have been done for you.
Oh, okay.
UCC filings are available for anyone to download and use. all of the documentation is already available for everyone to download and use. And honestly, out of the paper, it's only important for you to know who you are. It's only important for you to know who you are. Because no paper can grant you a right, and no paper can take it away. It is inherent. It is inherently yours. It is time for you to inherit the earth.
Aho.
Steve, Judy, and then Smarty.
Yeah, just listening to Floyd there. So the same goes for the rest of the paperwork, that forms 5446 and such.
All of those official forms they're part of a foreclosed system.
Okay.
That system doesn't exist anymore. And it's time for people to realize that the only authority that exists is what we decide.
So just the two documents, the certificate of authority and the fractionalized trust, and whoever needs to see that, they can see it.
Yes.
Perfect. Thanks, Bob.
Judy?
Thanks, Bob. Yeah, I would just wanted to remind everybody to, at the end of this, when you say stop recording, to go over to the right-hand side. Just remind them how to save the chat. If you would. You do it better than I do. So I just wanted to put the reminder out there. Thank you.
If you click on the bottom and you open up the chat, you'll see at the bottom of the chat, there'll be a little box that says more. And before you leave, you can save under that more. It says save chat, and it'll save all the chat from the entire meeting in a little text file, because there's a lot of good information there. So before you leave, if you can remember to save the chat, because once you get out, it won't, you can't, it's gone. Smarty?
Yeah, I was going to ask if the certificate of authority was needed, was a must, and if so, we use the routing. I mean, the routing number from the red letters in the back of the social security card, right?
Right. What happens is, it's a tool that hopefully in the next couple of weeks we won't need anymore.
Right.
So, everybody, not everybody is going to be able to fill out a certificate of authority, and I don't want anyone to have to do that.
Right.
You
Yeah, that's the only thing that I don't have. I do have the original factuation trust done, and I was stuck on the certificate of authority because of the routing number and all that. I was having to look for all that, but then something hit me and said, you know what, we won't even need this.
Yeah, that's the goal. Like, everyone should have complete unfettered access, whether they're aware or not. It should be available for everybody. There's enough of us that are aware and know, and this is something that was planned and should have happened back in 2001.
Okay. Okay.
They know what is supposed to be done. They know what was agreed, and it's time for them to fulfill their final agreement.
Okay, cool. One more thing. A lot of people are getting calls back from so-called bankers or security in the banking system, and when they're calling these people back, they're not giving their last names and everything, and they claim they're doing an investigation of fraud. So what in that case, we would just have to send them the paperwork, the factualized trust paperwork, right, to prove that it's their actual accounts.
Right. Yeah. If anybody's questioning, your authority, yeah, that's when you would use a tool like that.
Okay, so that's why that's the best to have then.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Thank you.
Chad?
Oh, thanks, Robert. As I comprehend this, and I'm new, if a question comes up, having your factualized trust ready to go will assert your ownership, title, and authority.
And underwriting, yes.
And underwriting. Okay, that's all I need to know. Thank you.
Okay. Again, I will keep you abreast if anything changes, but I understand that each and every one of you are anxiously awaiting this switchover, and this is the switchover. There's not going to be the RV and all of that. This is the win-win for everyone. Everyone has unfettered access. Everyone can do and be for the whole. AJ, you have your hand raised?
Hey, Robert.
Hey.
I just want to let you know that I appreciate everything that you're doing. And I just have one question regarding, do we need a power of attorney when we call, or is that just, or we could just say that that's us calling?
A power of attorney for what?
For our capital letter name.
Do you need a power of attorney? No, you don't need a power of attorney. All you need is to know who owns that account.
Right.
I mean, whose given name is on there, and who owns that name?
I was just asking because on one of Harvey's videos, he would say that he has the power of attorney of speaking on behalf of that person and that sort of stuff. So I was just wondering. That's all.
There's a lot of information out there, and a lot of it is catered to what previously existed in the former systems. So I'm not going to say that none of those things have any validity. They did, and maybe during this transition, in some cases they may still do. But those former systems have been collapsed. They've been foreclosed. for
Got it.
over 5 years now.
Okay. And I just wanted to give a success. I paid Xfinity on July 7th, went through perfect, and then I just paid the second one and it went through perfect. So seems like Xfinity's working.
Awesome. There are some companies that are on board, and you'll start to see who's willing and who's already made the transition. But everyone should have complete unfettered access.
Yes.
That's the only thing that we're going to settle for.
Right. And I used a letter assigned to the routing, and my account number was my social. I didn't have no 0 in front of it. I didn't have no 22 after it. I just used the way that we were taught, and it went through.
Awesome.
Thanks.
No worries. Chad, do you have your hand raised?
Sorry, I forgot to take it down.
That's okay. Kristen?
I ditto that, Bobby. Thank you very much for everything that you're doing. And this is more of a commentary. I've had the discussion with a couple of people already, but all of us are following Heather. And my gut is that Heather is me and I am Heather. Heather has prepared all of these documents for us to internalize. And if you watch Roger Indigo's postings and you understand what the true oneness in the original is that there is no difference between Heather and me or Heather and you. She is guiding us. She is leading us to where we need to be going and who we are. And if we put ourselves into her form, her body, we become her. And that's what she is trying to educate us and lead us to. So you have to watch and follow everything that is before us, because ultimately she doesn't need those papers. She stands her ground. She understands who she is. And that's what she's asking us to do, is do the same. And if you can imagine, we have 100 people on this call. We have thousands of people following. If all of us could be in her shoes at the same time as one, this will happen much more quickly because it is to be. Bobby, again, thank you. And I thank everybody who's part of this community for everything everybody's doing.
Thank you. Bobby Peck, and then we'll close the meeting.
Oh, fantastic. Thanks, Bob. I want to suggest sorry. I want to suggest a prayer going out to Heather and Randy that all the souls on this call can participate in. Maybe led by you or Kristen or Judy. Thank you.
You got this, Bob.
When you say prayer, it has a lot of meanings for a lot of different people. But I will send what I feel is the equivalent of a prayer. Because as far as Randy and Heather are concerned, they're exactly where they want and need to be, as each and every single one of us are. So I support their choices. I support their doing. I support their being in all ways, as we all support each and every one of ourselves, because we are all one. We are all original. We all come from the same source. And every single one of us and all of our beingness and all of our doings are always perfectly done, because that's who we are. We are the magnificent creators of all that is. We are the ones that have designed all of this. We designed the beginning and the end. and all the things that are in between. All of us are playing our roles, and I'm grateful for the roles they play. And at that, thank you all for your comments, your participation, and your coordination in all of your being and doing. And I will let you know as things unfold. We will keep everyone informed. But this is going to happen. Please do not doubt it's going to happen. It is part of the plan, and there are more surprises, very, very pleasant surprises that are forthcoming. Thank you all, and good night.
Thanks, Bob. Good night, brother.
Hi,
Thank you, Bob.
everyone on the
Night
call.
all.